Hello everyone, my name is Lev Holub and this is CUBASTIC, and today we are solving a complex puzzle. This time I decided to challenge such as scary and strange cube 4x4. It's obvious that centers are divided by circular system. This is why this cube is called circular. Why? Because on each side there is a circle that either rotates or not. Many may think that it spins somehow like this, but it can only move with edges. And for example, if you twist the upper side, the center remains in place. But if you twist two sides, the center moves with them. Very interesting thing, but before that I want to warm up first and try to solve these two puzzles. Because in fact, this cube is a mix of these two. This 4x4 cube, I think you're familiar with it, and this is a circular cube, only 2x2. What is the difference? I will tell later. So, let's start with 4. Scrambling the cube. Okay, let's start. First center, second center. Yeah, I'm going good now. Solve the cross. I begin to solve the edges. And now I have a 3x3 stage. I have no parity, that's good. And... I solved it for 30. But I had a such situation and I was in hurry. For this I should receive a fine 2 seconds. Somehow, but I solved it quickly. Let's move on to something more interesting. This is our 2x2 circular cube, and here is the same story. If you rotate the side completely, the center will remain in place. But if you turn it, for example from the opposite side, then the center will move with this layer. And that's why this cube will be very interesting, because some sides here rotate with layer, and some do not. Yellow doesn't spin, red doesn't either, and some other, blue. Others will spin with the layer. Scrambling. What's first catches your eye? One corner in every case will remain in this position as a complete block. That's why there are oriented centers here. For example, there will be white, orange, green, and opposite sides blue, red, yellow. I think it makes sense to try to solve it. By the way, I forgot to start the stopwatch. There is a logic in starting to solve it like 2x2, but for some reason I think that you need to solve the centers first, and then solve this 2x2 combined with a 3x3 cube. It is done. By the way, centers will always meet at the same time, so I put the white one together and the opposite yellow one is also put together. Okay, now I want to try to assemble the first layer like a 3x3 cube. We have one orange and we are looking for pair. For example, here we have the orange on top. We can do very simple movements and that orange ends up here. The same with others. Blue. And as you can see, I don't have to do anything else. As I said, all the opposite colors come together like this. And now we move into the corners. For example, this corner can now be here in one movement, as in 2x2 cube, but we cannot do it like this because we already have edges. Therefore, I use algorithm from a 3x3 cube to completely solve the corner together with the centers. By the way, we have a 3x3 tutorial on our channel. Yeah, then we make 3 pif puffs here. There is this corner, and one more feature that this block is not to be ruined. That is, I have collected the first layer. Now I need to put these centers together from each other bases. So they are also all in place. Here we can make a simple formula, for example, from a 3x3 cube. And that's all. We oriented them. Now just swap these sensors. And this is also an algorithm from a 3x3 cube, which is called T-perm. And solved. Good. All that remains is to turn the corners. The combination from a 3x3 will not work here, so we need to figure out algorithm not to ruin this block, for which I already told you. I have all oriented corners now. And I'm making the last moves, you can say, from a regular cube. We only have to make 2 fish. First, we make so that this corner is gathered behind. And now let's make it so the left fish is also in the corner behind it, so that we do not catch it. And that's all. The cube was solved in 6 minutes. As you can see, it was more difficult. I don't even imagine what will happen to this one. I hope knowledge I gained from 2x2 cube will help me with this monster. Let's find those positions where the circular centers will not spin with layers. So, for example, it is for certain that it will be this very corner, which was also in the previous cube. That is the orange side, white... What? The trick is that this corner is not oriented here. We need to find the corner that will be exactly the same as the previous, only it will be different colors. Turns out that the yellow side is oriented because the center rotates. What else could it be? Orange, because spins together, and green. No, not green. Oh, blue. That is, we have the other sides here, which are all spinning together. It is yellow, orange, and blue, unlike the previous one. Turns out that Sankso confused people. And I want to say like, hey guys, what's happening? So, I remember that my oriented angle is yellow, orange, blue. Gosh, now make it from yellow. By the way, it looks cool that when we rotate, for example, the upper side, then its lower side rotates like this, and it looks cool. Yeah, I think I scrambled. Right away, let's find the oriented angle. That is, for example, here I see yellow center, but here the orange and red corner. So this one is definitely not oriented. I haven't found it, but I will start the stopwatch because it's a part of solution. It's strange because, here it is, it was in front of my eyes. Look, we have such circular centers, yellow, blue and orange, so centers will be in the same places. There will be yellow, blue and orange. And that's why I start with the yellow center. So first we have to gather the side parts. That's all, I have already connected, the yellow strip is assembled, going on. Yeah, that's it, I've collected two centers. Here is the yellow one, just the green ones, and now I need to make a complete 4x4 cube. And white. Everything is ready, now my edges are connected to these centers. Going on. So I collected these extreme centers. Let's move on to the edges. Now I have assembled the cube to a 3x3 state, so we continue to make pairs. This, and like this. Yeah, finished. I assembled some kind of cage and there are a lot of unsolved centers. But what to do next? It's very difficult, because for example with the 2x2 cube I started from those centers, but here... Wait, what if we use this logic, for example, to solve this one like a regular 2x2 cube? That is, I can try to mix it like this, with such double layers. Everything will be the same, but we'll see. Let's try to solve it as a 2x2 cube. It kinda works, friends. Then it was not for nothing that I spent all evening on this one. To now easily try to figure out this one. Green. And here it should be orange. Yay, the first layer is solved. Nice, even, perfect. Let's move on. That's all. For now it's a repetition of a previous cube, as I did before. Yeah, here I'm holding another side, green. I'm doing regular formulas from 3x3. For example here, if we don't have any line, we simply make the front, one pif puff, and turn it back. Yeah, we should probably do it again. Oh, finally we have something. So, situation is repeated here again. The two centers are not oriented, so we make a T-turn combination. Yep. And that's all. All that left is to orient the corners. We have a solved corner, we put it back, then we take out from the behind, make the front and put in everything back. Everything is ready. Yeah, the fish remains here, but be careful, because if I just make a standard fish, the cube won't be solved. I need to make the two corners turn. For example, this one will be here, and these two can be gathered. We need to make the right fish first. Then intercept, stroke, the left fish, and that's it. It remains to turn these two. We will do it twice. In fact, I thought it would be much more difficult. But it turned out I'd prepared well. And I succeeded. Stop the timer. It took 8 minutes and 18 seconds. I think without preparation it would be much more difficult, and I really liked it. Cool thing. At first I see it was scary, unusual, but I think even behind that, when I didn't know how it worked, it was more difficult for me. Anyway, thanks for watching, see you in new videos, hit that like, subscribe, and see you soon.